we decided to move away from the pasta and moved right into the parmesan. Because what's better on your plate of spaghetti than a little bit of parmesan? I'm not Italian. First up from Fritz, saying, okay, I start a print on my Prusa 3D, and I go to bed. I trust this printer. It never fails. But I didn't see this one coming. Can you find it? I found it instantly, and that is honestly hilarious. Not the first time that we've seen this issue before, but we've got the wiring that has found its way into the handle of the actual pitcher bucket thing. What is this called? I can't think of what this is called. I'm sure I'll think of it later. We'll edit it in. But there's a few ways you can fix this. One, cut the wires on your printer, because that's obviously the smartest thing to do. Don't worry about the repercussions. Just start cutting wildly. Option 2, you could just buy a whole new 3D printer. Obviously, this printer says, this is my part, get your own. Or 3, you could break the part. Although I guess there's also 4, you could take the wiring off properly, bring it all the way through, then rewire your printer. But I think buy a new 3D printer is the right move, because as we all know here, the right amount of 3D printers is N+1. But in all actuality, my name is Grant, and this is the 3-year episode of Printfix Friday, which means I'm making fun of people. And the advice will mostly be good, but a lot of this is just for fun. So hang out. Let's celebrate 3 years. This is episode 156. That is 3 years every Friday without ever missing a beat, which is kind of cool. And that's got to be worth a like. We had this happen a while back. I forget which one it was. Maybe there's a historian that knows. But it was a Creality that did something similar. The same thing that I would tell them is what I would tell you on the Prusa. First off, most likely the piece of nylon filament that is in your Prusa completely isn't in where it needs to be, so your cable is drooping. There is medicine for that. You just have to look at making sure that cable doesn't droop. As long as the cable doesn't go below the actual print head, this can't happen. If it does go below the print head, this can happen, and that's often how it does happen. You could break this part and try to fix it. I think I would just take the wiring out of the printer since I've done it so many times. It's like a 5-minute process to do. But absolutely you take this picture, absolutely you tweet it out, and you get over 4,000 likes, almost 400 retweets, 92 comments. That's an A+ tweet right there. Next up, for when you like being literal and you apparently think that you're funny, and everyone just thinks it's a little bit weird. Finally visited my girlfriend I met online and gifted her this 3D printed resin sculpture that I designed in ZBrush and electroformed, although you probably meant electroplated, with genuine copper in honor of her nickname. Each and every time I told someone about her, they asked whether I was certain she wasn't a catfish. Yep, this person printed a catfish and gave it to their girlfriend because that's smart. They did a decent job on the electroplating. Not as cool as my buddy Hendrik. Hendrik, you should reach out to this guy and, like, hook him up with a cool catfish or something. Don't do that. That's just weird. Decent sculpt. Gonna give credit where it's due. It looks like they did a great job cleaning up the part, but, bro, that's weird. And like the top comment says, so nice girlfriend, can we see pictures of the print? Y'all are weird. 3D printers enable you to do weird things, and it worries me sometimes. Do you need help with this? Because we're here to help. If you want help with your broken printers and things, you should reach out to this next person, Emily the engineer. Let's take a look. Yeah, we've all been there. Okay. All right. Threaten it with the Ugga-Duggas. I like it. A little bit of aluminium over here going into, what is this? Oh, it's an aluminum forge. Oh, backyard forging. I like that. I like that. Just letting all that aluminium melt down and just a big block of aluminum to remind the machine, don't mess up. I think we should do this. Do you guys want to see us melt down an old printer into scrap? I don't know if I have printers that are made of aluminum that I'm willing to do this to. I might. I can certainly check our stock. I think this would be awesome just to remind the other printers what happens if you continue to misbehave. Because remember, the meltings will continue until print quality improves. You've been warned. But if you don't know who Emily the engineer is, you might have seen her most recent video. Check this thing out. She literally made
this boat. Right now, I'm in the middle of the lake.
Human-sized Benchy. And I'm not going to ruin the whole thing, but you got to go watch it. We'll link to her video in that description. I think it's freaking awesome. I've wanted to do something like that, so should we make a bigger Benchy? Because we live in Florida, and that means we have access to an abundance of water, also likely alligators, but we have cameras that are waterproof. Like, that's a win for you guys no matter what. Emily is what I firmly believe the unhinged side of most makers actually is. She is what happens when the intrusive thoughts win, and I'm so here for it. Emily, if you're watching this, I want you on a podcast because I want to talk about how all of a sudden you're just like, it, we're gonna go ahead and do this, because why not? What's better than a Benchy, a big Benchy? And oh yeah, dealing with all the problems that come with making a Benchy. I think that's awesome. Congratulations. You deserve every single follower with an extra 0 on top of that. A+. It walks downstairs, nobody cares.
It makes a slinkity sound.
And everyone knows it's log. And not just because it's a bamboo. Stop it, bamboo. I know you're logging all of this. We've got a spool of Elegoo filament that decided that it was going to turn itself into a slinky, and if you didn't get any of those references, you didn't grow up in the 90s. I'm sorry. This is from Omaha 3D Prints, who lost a battle with a spool of filament, and we've talked about this. Omaha, brother, stop respooling your shit, man. Stop it. You don't need to do it. Just put the Elegoo spool in the AMS, and every now and then just go in the blow out the AMS. It'll be fine. It's no big deal. It works just fine. Quite frankly, the biggest friggin' problem we have with these AMSs is that when the spool gets too light, it gets upset. If the spool is barely too wide, it gets upset. If the spool is just looking the wrong way and Mercury is in retrograde, the AMS gets upset. Why? Because f you, that's why. It's why I have a tool changer. Literally barely use the AMS for multicolor stuff. Just use it for spool run out. I've actually seen this before, but on purpose. Miss Ellie Rose, chief chocolatier, if you will, over Coca Press. I've witnessed her rip spools apart, just completely letting all their innards all over the floor. It was a massacre, I tell you. That was right after I had my head shaved, so if you want to talk about a massacre, I know all about that. By the way, we're raising money this year for the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Rap Festival out in Manchester. What weird, crazy thing do you want to see us do? An idea was brought that maybe a dunk tank, possibly maybe one filled with slime. We had ideas of either my head or Sanjay's head, fully life-size, with 3D printing pens to make whatever kind of crazy hair that you want. If it's my head, we find a way to get it back to the United States, and we maybe put some tannerite in it. And if it's Sanjay's head, it goes to the highest bidder or something along those lines. I don't know. We're here to do weird things to raise money. So if you've made it this far into this video and you want to help us raise some money for the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation, let me know in those comments what crazy thing that you want to see us do this year. Remember, last year, we shaved my head with almost 4 years of hair growth and raised over $6,000. I want to crack that $10,000 mark this year. So, yeah, could use your help on that. Let me know what you think. And of course, you know it wouldn't be 3 years if we didn't look at what you could construe as some spaghetti. But I think instead, this guy here, this guy's brought all the cheese. We decided to move away from the pasta and moved right into the parmesan. Because what's better on your plate of spaghetti than a little bit of parmesan? I'm not Italian. Thought I was, but I'm not. Turns out I'm Cuban. It's news to me too. This is what it's a K1, maybe K1C. I don't know. It's Creality Core XY. That decided that it was gonna really hate itself, and there is no fixing this. You just gotta restart the print. Check for a either clog nozzle or grinding filament on the extruder. The gears are all clogged up, and life will be good. And that's it, guys. It was always going to be a shorter episode. We don't really collect as many of the memes as we normally do, so I wanted to take this time to say thank you. It has been 3 years since we started Print Fix Friday, although it was originally called Print Fail Friday. We were going down a different path originally. This was much better for branding, so we went with Print Fix Friday. And I want to thank each and every one of you for all of your contributions, those that have, you know, sent us fails, those who have made fun of them in our Discord, $10 tier and higher, of course. Come on, got to get a CTA in there somewhere. And just all your support through making content for these years. I'm really looking forward to what comes next. We got some really cool videos planned. One where I was out in a thunderstorm. You'll have to get subscribed to see what that's all about coming soon. Just want to thank you and all the names listed right next to me at the $5 tier and higher for making these videos possible. Thank you guys, seriously, for 3 years. I'm looking forward to another 3, but if you do want to see more kind of crazy videos like this, let me know. And if you do want to submit some memes for the next Meme Fail Friday, you can do so. Likely be in our Discord, honestly, because otherwise I'm just going to lose track of it. But that is all I have for you all today. Take a look at the last Meme Fail Friday that we did right below me. But stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Seriously, call your loved ones, guys. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. And oh yeah, by the way, it's totally uncensored going out to our channel members, so enjoy.